beware of the widespread danger of hypocrisy. There's a timeless warning embedded in ancient wisdom, as relevant today as it was millennia ago: beware of the yeast of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. Luke 12:1. This isn't just a religious admonition, it's deep insight into a human flaw that, like yeast, starts small but can penetrate and corrupt every aspect of our lives and communities. You might be wondering, what exactly is this yeast, and why should you be so careful of it? To understand this warning, you must first grasp the nature of hypocrisy itself. At its core, it is the practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's own behavior does not correspond. It is insincerity personified, a masterclass in deceit and deception. When you witness hypocrisy, you are seeing dishonesty in action, a person performing lip service, saying all the right things, while their true motives or actions tell a different story. It's a form of two-facedness, where public persona clashes dramatically with private reality. This isn't just about making mistakes, it's about a deliberate falseness, a calculated deceitfulness designed to mislead or impress. Historically, the Pharisees were a group of religious leaders in ancient times known for their strict adherence to the letter of the law and their outward displays of piety. Yet, Jesus often challenged them, not for their pursuit of righteousness, but for their sanctimoniousness, their pretense of moral superiority that often masked a lack of genuine compassion or justice. Their actions frequently embodied double-dealing, where they demanded high standards from others, while secretly engaging in practices that contradicted those very standards. They were masters of outward show, meticulous about tithing and public prayer, yet often neglected the deep subjects of the law: justice, mercy, and faithfulness. This created a deep sense of disloyalty, not just to their own pretended values, but to the very spirit of the law they claimed to uphold. The metaphor of yeast is particularly potent because it illustrates how something seemingly small can have a widespread and transformative effect. Firstly, hypocrisy causes immense internal damage to your own character. When you engage in fraud or lying to maintain a false front, you undermine your integrity, creating a split between who you pretend to be and who you truly are. This internal conflict is corrosive, preventing genuine growth and authentic self-expression. Secondly, its impact on external relationships and communities is devastating. Imagine a society riddled with dishonesty and deceitfulness. Trust, the very bedrock of human connection, crumbles. Whether in families, friendships, workplaces, or religious institutions, hypocrisy injects a toxic element that spreads suspicion and negativity. When leaders or role models demonstrate double-dealing, it encourages disloyalty among those who follow them, leading to disappointment and fractured communities. The yeast infects the whole loaf, making genuinely good intentions or actions seem suspect. As the playwright Tennessee Williams so pointedly observed, the only thing worse than a liar is a liar who is also a hypocrite. So, how can you guard against this yeast? Begin with introspection. Take an honest look at your own life. Are there areas where you engage in lip service, saying one thing while doing another? Do you ever find yourself guilty of insincerity, perhaps to gain approval or avoid embarrassment? Acknowledging your own potential for falseness is the first step towards genuine integrity. Be vigilant against any form of fraud or lying in your own words and actions. Cultivate wisdom. When observing others, pay attention to the consistency between their words and their deeds. While it's crucial to avoid becoming overly judgmental, a healthy skepticism can help you recognize patterns of two-facedness or deception. Look for genuine humility and a willingness to admit mistakes, rather than constant insincerity and self-righteousness. The antidote to hypocrisy lies in embracing authenticity, integrity, and humility. It requires a commitment to living truly, not just appearing to live righteously. It means aligning your internal values with your external actions, even when it's difficult or unpopular. It means choosing truth over pretense, sincerity over performance. The warning to beware of the yeast of the Pharisees is a call to lifelong vigilance. It urges you to recognize the subtle, insidious nature of hypocrisy, its capacity for deceit, its reliance on dishonesty, and its power to corrupt. By committing to genuine living, by rejecting insincerity and double-dealing, and by striving for transparency in all your interactions, you can protect yourself and your communities from this destructive influence. Choose sincerity over dishonesty, truth over deception, and let your life be a testament to genuine integrity. A clearer explanation of Luke 12:1-3, Warnings against hypocrisy. What happened? Jesus is surrounded by a huge crowd, but he specifically warns his disciples, "Be on your guard against the yeast of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy." He continues, saying that everything hidden will eventually be revealed, and whatever is whispered in secret will be shouted from the rooftops. What does this mean? 1. Yeast of the Pharisees is hypocrisy, the claim or pretense of having beliefs, standards, qualities, behaviors, virtues, motivations, which one does not really have. In baking, even a little yeast spreads through and changes the whole dough. Jesus uses this as a picture. The Pharisees' hypocrisy, pretending to be good while hiding wrong motives, can spread and affect many people. He warns his followers not to fall into the same trap of acting religious or moral on the outside, while hiding sin or wrong motives inside. 2. Everything hidden will be revealed. Jesus says that no matter how well people hide their true thoughts, feelings, or actions, God will one day reveal everything. What you have said in the dark will be heard in the daylight. Means that secrets and private actions will eventually come to light. 3. Living with integrity. The main point is a warning against living a double life. Jesus is teaching his followers to be genuine, to have their outward lives match their inward hearts, because God sees everything. Jesus warns his disciples not to be like the hypocritical Pharisees, whose outward religion hides inner dishonesty. He teaches that God will ultimately reveal every secret, so we should aim for integrity and honesty in all we do. Peace and honesty, now and always.